Hi, my name is Dr. Paul Hambrick. I'm an upper cervical chiropractor, and I first learned about MAT from a book that I was reading, and the explanation in the book, it was a book by Jordan Rubin. The explanation in the book about the philosophy behind muscle activation technique just made total sense, especially being an upper cervical chiropractor. I deal specifically with the very first bone in the spine called the atlas bone, and knew that there had to be a way to deal with things other than misaligned vertebra, and never found a good way of doing it that made sense to me. And when I first read about muscle activation technique, it made sense. Chris Vercelli was a personal trainer in the next town over in Bradenton, and I went and met with him and we talked, and his explanation about why he did what he did made perfect sense to me, and he worked on me, and in one visit took care of a chronic shoulder injury that I'd been dealing with for quite a while. And I tried everything to fix this shoulder problem. Exercises, physical therapy, adjusting, and nothing helped until I went through the MAT protocol. And what I like about MAT is it takes the entire body into account, because you may be feeling a problem in your shoulder, and the problem is actually starting somewhere else. And MAT takes the whole body into account, and I can't recommend it highly enough. Everyone should at least go through an evaluation just to make sure that their bodies are performing symmetrically and balanced, and I can't recommend Chris Vercelli highly enough. He knows his stuff, and he knows his stuff. Thanks.
I met Chris several years ago. He was my personal trainer, and we would do various exercises in the gym, and they weren't affecting the muscles that they were intended to affect. So in an effort to get to the bottom of why other muscles seem to be compensating for my weak ones, Chris told me about MAT, and it's an interesting philosophy, and it made a lot of sense intellectually that, you know, if we have pain somewhere, then maybe a muscle is compensating for a weak one, or one that's been turned off somewhere else. And I said that made a lot of sense, but what really did it for me was when the theory was put into practice. And through several assessment tools that he used, he was able to get to the bottom of a lot of my pain, in fact, most of my pain. So in addition to having problems while I was exercising with equipment or on my own, or my employment in terms of sitting at a desk, you know, I had neck pains and issues with my upper body, lower back. I have a bulging disc. And with just some simple assessment tools and exercises and isometrics and palpations into my muscles, pretty much solved everything. I just need every once in a while, he'll come and do a tweaking, and I can go on my merry way. So what I find beneficial is that I have peace of mind, because I know if something hurts that Chris can fix it, number one. Number two, I know that I don't have to go to the doctor and assume that they're going to put me through all kinds of tests and most likely give me pills, either pain or muscle relaxers. And I know that I can have a relatively pain-free life without medication and with just some simple physical therapy that's provided by Chris. So this is highly recommended, and give it a try.
Hi, my name is David Meisner. I've been a pastor in the area for a few years. I was doing triathlons at the time, and I had a condition called plantar fasciitis, and it's like somebody sticking a needle up into your heel every time you try to run or bike or swim. and it was discouraging, it was debilitating. I was trying to train, and just in normal daily life, you know, just walking across the parking lot, I mean, stabbing pain in my heel. I tried a lot of things. I tried massage, I tried working it myself, I tried pain medication, ice, heat, and various things like that. And that helped, that would alleviate the problem for a little while, but it would always come back. And obviously there was an underlying issue that never got resolved or addressed. So I met Chris Vercelli at it was a storefront training facility, and we just happened to meet by a coincidence, and he started working with me, and right away I was so impressed because he went right to he was able to diagnose the core of the issue, the problem, the source of the problem, and went right to it, alleviated the pain. But not only did he alleviate the pain, he went right to the issue that was causing the whole thing. Identified weak muscles that needed to be reactivated, that had gone to sleep, gotten very weak for whatever reason, and showed me different exercises that I could do to strengthen those muscles so that plantar fasciitis would not come back. My triathlon performance increased dramatically, but most importantly, just regular daily life became easier, and my body became stronger as a result of having done that. If you're thinking about this, let me encourage you that Chris is incredibly professionally trained and just extremely diligent about what he does. A lot of insight, and also while he's working on you, you know that he's connecting with the Lord. He's praying, getting the Lord involved, and just listening to the Holy Spirit guide in the alleviation of the problem. Bless you.
Hi, my name's Denise. I met Chris and started working with him 3 years ago. I was suffering with a lot of leg and muscle pain and a lot of pain in my feet. I was having great difficulty walking. Chris convinced me, come in, let me treat you once, and I know you'll feel a difference. And he does speak the truth. One treatment, and I felt that things were definitely turned back on, working the way they should again. My posture improved, my range of motion improved, my muscle tightness improved, and I just felt everything in my body starting to work together in sync again. And I signed up for more treatment, and things did get better and continue to get better to the point where he could even train me a little bit and get some strength back in my body. More time went by, ended up calling Chris again, and I think that's one of the most beautiful parts about this kind of treatment is it treats many different issues, and they, believe it or not, they are all connected. And once he gets that body working in tandem again, the muscles all working with each other, it greatly improves the quality of your life. I was walking better, moving better, sleeping better, and feeling a lot more strong overall. So there are a lot of issues that MAT can help resolve, and I greatly encourage everyone, give it a try. It is one of the few treatments I have ever done that you feel results immediately, and it is not painful, and Chris is an absolute joy to work with. You will really enjoy spending time with him.
Thanks, Denise.
Hi, my name is Richard Brownlee. I'm a 40-year retired pastor, and just recently, in the last few months, incurred sciatica, which if you ever had it, you know what it can do for you, do against you, and if you haven't had it, let me just assure you, you don't want to have to go through it. And I was getting therapy from a good friend, but it didn't seem to really be doing what I needed. And my good friend Chris Vercelli, who has this wonderful procedure, that he came to my home and set up his table and began taking me through these therapy sessions with all the manipulations and all that he does, which is very soothing, very healing. And after the very first session, I could stand up without any pain whatsoever. That lasted about 18 hours, and after the next 2 or 3, I was completely healed from it. I've had no further problems at all. I would just greatly encourage you that if you're suffering in any area in your body from any type of paralysis or injury to muscles or what have you, seriously consider asking Chris to come over or go wherever he's at and ask him to do one of these therapy sessions that I don't know anybody else can do what Chris does, and I would just highly recommend it because I know him personally and he's very passionate and compassionate about what he does, and he can do it in a way that you'll find it will last. It's not just something that'll feel good for a night or so and then you're hurting again. It really begins to bring permanent healing to those areas of your body, and it'll strengthen the rest of the areas and strengthen your muscles and your tension in your body as well, and cause you to be able to relax and really enjoy the rest of your life. So if I can be of any further assistance, just feel free to ask.
Thanks, Pastor. And what's your name?
It works. Rose.
Rose.
Came to the test and he was saying that there was some problems on my neck and my lower back, which is true. I've been having a lot of problems in my neck and my lower back.
How long have you had those problems?
For a long time. I think the back was when 16 years ago when they did epidural when I had my baby, and he said that it had a lot to do with it, and it was really tight. I've been in real bad pain. After we did the treatment, it felt like it's floating, like I'm on air.
So is this the best you've ever felt after one treatment
Yes,
of something?
The best.
So would you recommend it to somebody else that's
Yes,
going
I
through the
would.
same problems?
Yes, they really need to try this.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Jonna Sharp, and I've been being treated by Chris for a shoulder injury. I had some limited mobility, pain upon certain uses, and I also had pain at night when I slept. That seemed to be, it woke me up, and throughout Chris's treatments, I've received great relief. Initially such great relief that I thought I was completely healed and may have felt like perfect and overdid it, but we're really getting to the point where I have I would say probably 95% maybe even greater range of motion. I have minimal times when it's painful, and I almost feel cured. So I'm really a believer in the muscle activation technique. It was somewhat of a question mark for me at the beginning, but I wasn't quite a great deal of pain, so you get to the point where you're just want some relief, and I got that fairly quickly. It wasn't a drawn out 6-month process or anything. It was within a month or so, and actually immediately after treatments I could tell had greater range of motion and stuff. So I think Chris is very proficient and professional at the mat technique, and if you have a shoulder problem, or I also had a hip issue, or whatever your problem is, I feel sure that you could go to Chris and he could give you some relief.
Yay.
Awesome. Go.
Hi, my name is Gladys Figueroa. I have been treated by Chris. I had a lot of discomfort in my muscles and different parts of my body. And when he began the treatment, I started feeling much better right away. Places that I didn't know that I was tender and in pain, they bothered me, he reached them. And from there, I have been feeling 100% since I started with him. So it's been a miracle, and I'm very grateful to Chris, and I want to thank him. And from the bottom of my heart, I think he's wonderful, and I recommend him highly.
Awesome. And what else did you try before this to try to relieve that pain?
Well, I get massages once in a while. Going and looking for relief in certain muscles that really bother me a lot. And for the moment, I felt the relief, but then a couple of days after having the massage, the problem came back. So now I'm experiencing long-term healing. So I'm very happy and thankful, and I thank Chris again.
All right, go.
All right, my name's John Kuiper. I was playing rugby practice and my lower back was hurting me for a couple of days. I came in here and got me stretched out 15 minutes and now the pain's gone.
I'm John Hancock. I'm a member of the Meadows Country Club. I've been plagued by back problems for years. Last year I fractured my L2 vertebrae and I'm having a very long and hard recovery. I've tried acupuncture, chiropractic, etc., until I came across Chris, and he's been working with me now for 4 or 5 weeks, and I'm much better. My body is much more flexible, and I'm even back playing golf. How's that?
Awesome. So what would you tell somebody, John, that's considering this to help with their problems?
Yeah, anyone that has back pain, I would recommend that they have someone like Chris take a look at it, because you never know whether it's damaged or whether it's just muscle problems.
Now I am.
Okay. My experience with muscle activation techniques has been very positive. I struggled with back injuries for about 9 to 10 years now, and the muscle activation techniques have really helped me regain just simple abilities like playing with my kids and helping my wife around the house and things like that in ways that I couldn't do so before. So I'm very appreciative to the techniques, and I anticipate continuing to use them. One of the differences that I've seen with muscle activation techniques compared to other forms of therapy such as chiropractor is that when I have used a chiropractor in the past, usually the results of those visits last, maybe 2 or 3 days, and you're constantly having to go back to the chiropractor. Whereas with muscle activation techniques, the results usually last from 3 to 4 weeks, sometimes even longer, depending on how active I am and what risk I'm taking and my back and stuff like that. So I really appreciate the amount of freedom that muscle activation techniques has given me, and I anticipate continuing to use it and enjoy the results so far.
Hi, Dick Sheldon here, member of the Meadows Country Club and also a member of the Fitness Center and a client of Christopher on his muscle activation technique. And when I first started coming in, I was having a little trouble walking. I was in the straight position and playing golf. And talking to some of my friends, they've been in here and they enjoyed it and they're feeling better. I'd recommend it to anybody that has problems with the back muscles. Come in, try it, see if you like it. And it's done well for me. I have no complaints.
Awesome.
Awesome.
So now tell me how you're feeling in comparison to how you were when you first came in.
I'd say probably 75% better. Other than that, I feel good. And as far as I'm concerned, it's a very good treatment.
Good. So what would you say to somebody who's considering this?
Come in and try it. It won't hurt. And I have a couple of friends that come in already and have seen improvements in their activities day to day. Especially John Hancock and my other gentleman, pilot friend. They've enjoyed it and it's helped them.
My name is Scott Collins. I'm a member here at the Meadows Fitness Center. I came to Chris almost a month ago, having some pain in my upper right shoulder area from years of golf and just doing things possibly the wrong way without strengthening that area. Chris was able to help me out in no short period of time. I'm in the car quite a bit, which certainly causes fatigue. He has helped me to the point now where the pain is not constant, if at all, and I'm able to resume my normal workouts, continue playing normal golf schedule, and look forward to continued improvement with the workouts.
Cool. So what would you tell somebody who's considering MAT to help their pain, Scott?
Well, I think people just need to get informed. It certainly is something that I didn't know much about, but the proof is in the actual work. And a couple of sessions with Chris got me all squared away. And I'm here to say that I now enjoy things that a month ago I wasn't able to enjoy.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks, Scott.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Appreciate all your help, and thanks for getting me back on the road.
All right. All right. Go.
Ready? My name's Jeff Dillon. I broke my back really bad when I was 18. I'm about 28, 29 now. I've tried everything under the sun to get pain relief, from pills, which is just a dead-end road, acupuncture, chiropractor, massage, and about the only thing that's honestly worked for me is MAT, and I'm solely blessed that my good friend Chris is somebody that can do that for me. It really does give me a light at the end of the tunnel, because if I didn't have one treatment that worked as well as MAT for me, honestly, I probably would not be alive right now, because anybody with chronic pain knows that year after year after year, it wears you down. It's like having an annoying friend that you can't get away from, and it limits the things you want to do in your life. I want to go fishing, but that annoying little friend's going to be there, pain in my back, I can't do it. And that's an example of how it affects your life. And it just gets worse, and I've tried everything there is. Everybody I see says, "Oh, I'll fix your back. I know what I can do. This is what will work." The only thing that has helped me is MAT. And that's with a combination of other therapies, but MAT for me is the ¡1 thing that I can honestly say has saved my life. And Chris, I just can't thank you enough for it. It's been a godsend to me.
Amen. Thanks, man.